Hi, it's Joy, and time goes you're watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 1, Strange New Worlds. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show. I am a really big Star Trek fan, with a slight caveat that I have not seen everything Star Trek. When I was a kid, I watched all of Star Trek Voyager with my mum. We watched all of Star Trek Enterprise as it was airing. The way that ended was a travesty. I have seen the movies. I know the movies are like a separate universe to the TV shows. I have not seen any of the original things, but I have also watched the first 2 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. I was a really big fan of the character of Ash Tyler and Michael, and that whole dynamic was really interesting to me. And then I never intentionally stopped watching Discovery. Just, I know that, like, I think it stopped being put on Netflix, and then, like, it just kind of became more of a, I was sort of like, oh, the whole the things are very different now. So I kind of just lost my way with that show. But that being said, having watched the first 2 seasons of Discovery, I have seen Pike and their version of Spock, who I believe in this show. Like, I think Pike's like the main captain in this show. Captain. I really don't know what this show is about beyond obviously Star Trek. I assume they're going to some new worlds that are strange, but I'm really excited. If you're watching this reaction on YouTube, you can find the unedited version of this reaction thanks to the wonderful Albert on my Patreon. This is Editing Joy jumping in from 2025 to say that this show has become one of my absolute favourites, and I am currently reacting to Season 3 on Patreon each week as the episodes come out. And yes, so you can find all of my reactions to this on Patreon, and I really do mean all of them because I'm up to date. And let's go.
Telemetry is confirmed. UFO is not of planetary origin. It's from outer space.
First contact with aliens.
This is the first contact?
Squarely in.
Did the Federation deem them advanced enough?
Really?
Why no, not up?
More coffee, Captain Batum.
Don't mind if I do, Captain Pike.
Very formal.
You don't want me in command of that ship.
You're getting us confused. You don't want you in command. What the hell happened out there, Chris?
Trying to remember.
It's classified. Classified.
He had a vision-y thing, didn't he? Is that the problem? I was thinking he saw, like, I don't genuinely, like, Pike is the captain of the Enterprise before Kirk, I think. I haven't seen, like I said, any of the originals. And I feel like he had a vision of himself dying or something, and my mum was like, oh yeah, that is Pike's fate. I don't...
Pathetic to whatever's going on with you. But right now, I need you back on that horse, Captain.
Someone he cares about in danger. This will be a way to get him back. Have it. It's in his hand. Who did? When I was in year 7, so like 12, we had to make these little LED light things, and I don't know if you can see. I'll go back to the screen. Yeah, I made mine like this to be the Enterprise. It still lights up because I barely use it. Yep, just suddenly remember that existed. It is not symmetrical at all. I did not care about tech.
Will you marry me?
I was beginning to think you would never ask.
Spock doesn't have a wife, does he?
I now believe was the idea.
What's gonna happen to her? Or is this a different timeline? Maybe he did have a girlfriend. I don't know. A wife, fiancé. Is she gonna die, or is he just gonna realize he doesn't want to settle down?
I have to.
Thanks to the wonderful Albert who sponsored these reactions. He also sponsored a handful of reactions to the original series of episodes that were related to this show after I'd watched season 1. So I have seen the original series episode now that features T'Pring and some of the other things that get referenced. So, I mean, in the comments, feel free to answer them. It's always fun to hear people talk what they have to say and what they think. But I do now know who T'Pring is in the original series and some other things that I didn't know when I was watching this. Because, yeah, this I watched a long time ago, and I'm now editing this in 2025. A lot has happened since then, and the show has become one of my favourites.
Matrimony and duty, the two will complement each other.
I remain skeptical.
As do I, given that... But she knows who she asked to marry her. It's a guy who goes off with Starfleet.
Are you naked?
No, Captain.
No, Chris, he's not. He was about to be. It's a special night.
There she is.
Good as new, sir.
Wish it were that easy.
Sir?
Energize.
You need to be elite. Like, you can't be walking around making ominous proclamations to all of your people.
How are you, Mr. Spock?
Each time I return to space, the weight I carry for the loss of my sister feels heavier.
Yeah.
Sorry. I miss her too.
The classified sister no one can know about. Which makes me sad.
Okay, Ortegas, let's take her out.
I'm excited. I'm taking a note of the names I recognize for the people that can't die at any point. Yeah. Yes, that is. He had a vision of himself, and it's freaked him out. Understandably so.
Nobody dies.
Agreed.
This mission will not be anybody's last day.
Agreed. Thank you for this ominous proclamation. That was not the most rousing of speeches.
Come.
It's a big burden to carry.
Mr. I know exactly how and when my life ends.
I mean, you
And I
can
didn't just
still
see it,
have
I
a form
felt
of a
it
life.
every agonizing second. Will it make me hesitant? Cautious, not cautious enough. I'm already
Those
second
are-
guessing myself, and that's the last thing a captain.
Those are good thoughts to have, because it could make him think, well, I can't die because I die in 10 years. So yeah, let's do this risky jump through a destabilizing wormhole or whatever. But at the same time, it could also mean that he's like, oh my god, I don't want to die. Let's not do anything. It's good that you're thinking about this. It's good that you're talking about it to somebody. And I don't know, like, if you know you die in that way, can you avoid it? Or will circumstances be that even if he's like, oh, actually, I'm requesting leave for this year, I'm going to go on a sabbatical for this entire year where this incident happens, is he just meaning someone else will die in his place? Or will something happen that means he has to go? It's interesting.
So you must seek out the good in knowing your own death. Use it to be the man you most essentially are.
Who's that, Spock?
A good leader.
The captain.
Mm-hmm. You're still alive. It seems like it's probably very, very painful, but I'm sure there'll be positives to still being alive.
Pretty weird signal variants.
Pretty weird.
Recommend deflector shields to full.
Oof.
These people aren't showing any signs of local space colonization.
Which puts them a century behind constructing warp drives.
Yet they have a warp
Yes.
signature.
A nascent. There is not sufficient.
Activate deflector shields.
I
I think it's not the
reading
worst.
multiple launches from the surface.
Good call, number one. Take us
Screaming
aboard,
her
take us.
worth.
Maybe they'll think they got us.
Right. So do
What's
people,
going on down there?
do they just
Classic
have advanced
21st century
weapons?
tech. Red alert, Mizuhara.
Did somebody else bring it here?
Analyze these signal variants. Surface scans of the planet are consistent with pre-warp society.
How is that possible?
As you know, the Vulcans invented first contact.
As they never fail to remind us.
The world
First contact has already gone very awry.
Gonna mess with your genome.
You first.
Make them look like
The locals
locals?
are humanoid.
It might not last as long the first time.
Good.
No such
Should
thing.
someone else not
Just the
go?
gene therapy.
The terrible pain part? Maybe I wasn't clear when I said no,
Why?
and I prefer to remain fully aware.
Why? I want to get to know these characters.
People survive things.
There's surviving. Then there's living.
That's something you could
Your
learn
choice.
as well.
Just don't lose my socks, Mr. Kyle. Energize.
He's getting more of his Captain Pep back.
Where are my pants? Prolonged civil conflict within this planet's government.
Yes.
Shades of old Earth. Are you familiar
Yep.
with the United States of America, Spock?
Yes. As I am with both their civil wars and their devastating results.
If this society
Both
is
the
already
Civil
flashback,
Wars.
And they've somehow acquired an advanced
We are
weapon.
heading for that.
His neck.
What?
His neck.
We're a good little team.
Musculature is responsive.
This one's not going to work.
We literally are the UFOs in the ship, abducting people and experimenting on them right now.
Lucky.
Yep. Oh fuck. Oh god.
Discovery 7?
Hi.
Is she gonna get calmed down?
I heard that the greatest match game was Cone Rockets versus Boom Shield.
Yes, I was there.
Gotcha.
Oh lord.
How about thank you for saving me?
Somehow, I figured you might.
Can you move?
Come on.
Hey, Chief.
They know
Hey,
each
we got the
other?
guy.
Wait, you two know each other? It is fortunate our route is empty.
Can you not jinx it?
It is
Yes.
illogical to believe.
You just jinxed it. Just walk like you're meant to be here, like there's nothing wrong.
Ping.
Oh dear.
No time to hide them. Let's move.
Second contact's not going much better than first.
Still,
They collected enough data to reverse engineer a matter-antimatter reactor.
Captain I of
Fuck.
Enterprise.
They weren't ready for warp, not by a long shot.
And now
So
they're
that's why
using
we
our
were
tech to
here.
build a weapon. Never consider. Spock on me.
His disguise is gone.
Is this wise?
No,
I am clearly.
but it's also for the best.
That's what I'm counting on. Take me to your leader.
It is the right thing to do to try and stop this mistake from happening. But then I suppose if they happen to see something and
The failure was
it's
ours.
their own.
We owe your entire world a profound apology.
Have your people never put down civil unrest?
Negotiation. Debate.
We
These
evolved.
are the tools to build a lasting peace.
If spilled blood is the price, so
Can
be
we
it.
steal? The thing is, they've got the knowledge, even if we can't steal the technology.
Emergency communication from Captain Pike. Enterprise to lower orbit, full visibility, show them what you got.
Captain.
Fuck. Fuck.
Just like you said, whoever has the biggest stick wins. In this case, that is me.
I mean, we are breaking a lot of rules here, but for the right reasons.
Today, the arrival of the aliens. This is the first time, and we will bring it all to you live.
It is a very Earth-like species
going
and
well?
civilization, isn't it?
Become used to episodes.
Not believing you're gonna die is what gets you killed.
What did you just say?
Huh.
Sorry, Captain. Just something my father said not long before.
It's gonna help him. What did you say? Not something
Well,
her
you
father
know-
said.
But I had a lot of time to think about it. About why I was the only one to survive.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know what? You know the last thing they felt.
Surprise.
Yes.
Because right up until the last moment, they couldn't imagine dying.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
You've helped him in a lot of ways.
I'm going to need access to the historical database.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt. Our conflict also started with a fight for freedoms. We called it the Second Civil War, then the Eugenics War. Earth we knew ceased to exist.
Fuck.
It began as an eruption in one nation, ended in the eradication of 600,000 species of animals and plants, and 30%
Jesus
of Earth's
Christ.
population.
Has this always been in the Star Trek past?
Global. You'll use competing ideas of liberty to bomb each other to rubble just like we did, and then your last day will look just like this.
Fuck.
Believe
How did
that your
humanity
destinies are still
get through that?
Maybe that's why I'm here. To remind you
Of the
This
power
is the Captain Pike that should be around. This is so against the policies, and I love it.
Go to war. Join our Federation of Planets.
Fuck.
and reach for the stars.
I mean, they caused this mess. They gave them the tools quicker than before. Maybe they would have found a peaceful alternative before they reached warp level weaponry. And to be honest, if some aliens, some nice aliens, want to descend from the sky and like humanity, you're fucking up. Let us fix everything. Please come. Yeah, well, Vulcans, come please.
Getting the Fed.
They're doubling down, renaming it the Prime Directive. Well, that'll never stick.
Yes, it will.
Enterprise, sir. She's the reason I joined Starfleet. I was worried.
Worried I wouldn't trust you.
Yes,
So you decided not to trust me instead.
I was wrong. I'm sorry.
There's more to serving Starfleet than just individual excellence. Our ability to work together, that's our greatest strength. I'd like to offer you a commission to join us on the Enterprise.
Sir?
Captain's log. Stardate 2259.4.
Good, I liked her.
Earth. I am a lucky man.
Captain, Lieutenant Kirk is on his way to the bridge as you requested.
Thank you, number one.
Is he now?
New security chief is in place. Captain.
Well, you're posted to life sciences, and he's your new boss.
So it's a dad?
We are.
Or a brother?
Course, Cap.
We boldly go
Where no one's been before.
where no one has gone before.
Cool. Sir.
It's very cool.
Let's take her out, Lieutenant Ortegas. Warp factor 2. Hit it.
Is that this season on? Because, yeah, I'm not interested in this season on. I will watch that this season on. Okay, so I love this. I do love Star Trek. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show and getting me to watch it, because I was never going to get around to it otherwise. This episode felt in a lot of ways kind of like I really enjoyed Discovery, and the fact that it was different from a lot of the like other Star Trek things. I don't think the franchise always has to be exactly the same, but this felt a little bit more like returning to the roots of kind of other Star Treks that I've seen, and I really, really loved that. Even though I say that given that like they completely went against the Prime Directive, as they now named it. I just love this episode. I'm glad we saw Pike. I mean, I kind of had forgotten that Pike had seen a vision of his future until he was struggling, and then I was like, wait, that was a thing that happened. And that would mess with you, to know that you have this terrible thing that's going to happen to you, and you know when it's going to happen, you know how many years you've got, you know it's going to change your life for forever, it's going to be painful, but at least he's going to survive it, like something, I don't know. But it can destroy you, or you can make you stronger, in the sense that you can be like, I'm going to live every single day to the max, and I'm going to make it mean something. So I'm glad we saw him struggling with that, and I'm glad it was Spock that helped him through it a little bit, and that the new I can't remember her name, the security officer, who was able to kind of also get to talk to him and kind of jolt him out of it a little bit. I think what he said at the end about how it's more than just individual excellence, it's being together, it's the crew, it's all of us together. I think reminding him that having those people around him is what makes his life worth living and makes his life good is really important as well. So I'm glad we saw him go through that struggle, and that he's mostly through it. You know, I'm not saying that he's gonna never think of it ever again and not be at least be concerned about it. If this show goes on for 10 years, I imagine he's gonna get very stressed about it. But I do think that was very good, given what happened in Discovery with him, while also being handled in a way that it doesn't need to dominate every second. It can come up again, but it doesn't need to be like the leading theme of the show. I also like that they acknowledged Discovery, both with Spock saying he missed his sister, and with the whole incident starting because it was to do with all of the stuff that they were doing with Discovery that alerted this civilization to different types of science that helped them jump ahead of their evolutionary curve. A very nice way to like acknowledge the show that had like sort of kind of like, well, reopened the Star Trek TV franchise, and some of these characters, while also, if you hadn't seen Discovery, you don't need to now go and watch it all to understand. You can just be like, oh, they did something and some stuff happened. You might be like, Spock has a sister? Because, yeah, that is a thing, but it also makes sense why, you know, he never mentions her in the future, because he literally cannot. It's just so sad. Genuinely, like, it made me sad, okay? Like, the episode itself, so, it being kind of his number one who was in danger, of course he was going to go after her, and then being in the captain's chair, being among his people, is what reminded Pike that he is who this is who he is even, and this is where he wants to be. Now, the idea of this planet, it was very similar to Earth now, to Earth in the past, and unfortunately to Earth in the future. And I loved the idea that, I love the moral dilemma of it in this episode, because what do you do? Because technically I do agree with the Prime Directive. I do agree that if this species isn't space-worthy, you can't go in there and be like, hi, I'm just going to fix all of your mistakes. So I say that if you're a friendly alien species, come down and fix our mistakes, please, before we destroy ourselves. But I loved looking at the situation and realizing that they haven't just developed this weapon by themselves. We did it for them. We did something that meant they've had this evolutionary jump, and they would not have reached this point, at least not so quickly, without us. We need to do something. So I really loved the fact that Pike took it seriously, and like, yes, he broke the kind of number one rule, but it was to prevent the loss of lives. It was to try and save another species from entering into the same dilemma, the same hell that we put ourselves through. We put them in this mess, so we should help them find the way out of it. They still could have rejected what he was saying. He wasn't like, I mean, I know that like he forced them into the talks, but if the talks could still have gone south, then it still could have been weapons. But I love the way he was able to kind of show the similarities between our worlds and what happened here, and to try and save them. I think in that situation, interference is completely valid, and it's actually giving hope to a world to let it grow and evolve without needing to go through the level of heartache that we went through. I actually may have forgotten if that World War III and nuclear weapons had always been a part of the Star Trek past. Gives you a little bit of hope that if that happens, society will, like, humanity will evolve. The Star Trek future, the Federation, where, like, you know, all of Earth is more or less just one. Their nations don't really matter anymore. Everyone looks out for each other. Everyone wants the best for each other. That is just like, it's the dream. And unfortunately, we are heading more towards World War III than we are towards that. But it's nice to think that maybe even if World War III comes, that can be at the end of it all. So I loved seeing I love the way we saw kind of Pike put his personal beliefs and morals ahead of strict orders, because just following orders isn't always the right thing to do. I also think it's a very apt that the officials sitting around the tables afterwards would be like, well, we can't technically tell them off because they're not supposed to know about this thing, but also the prime directive is now the prime directive and everyone has to follow it. It's very realistic to how people would have deal with this situation. I also like that he didn't bring anybody other than his like most trusted guy, Spock, into the altercation, because if it had gone south, if they'd shot them on sight or whatever, yes, it would have been awful, but like he didn't want to waste and risk anybody else. But he trusted his gut and his instincts, and given that earlier in the episode he had been worrying that what if this thing I went through is going to mean my instincts are no longer good, he's back to trusting them, and so I really, really did love that. I love Spock. I love this version of Spock, so seeing him was great. Him having a fiance, again, I haven't seen the original series that Spock is in. I just know of him, but I have a feeling that this is not going to be a marriage that lasts. Maybe he always had a wife, but I wasn't aware of that. And the thing that makes me think it's not going to last isn't even just the fact that I didn't think he had a wife, it's the fact that she didn't seem to, she referred to him being in Starfleet as gallivanting around the galaxy, and then when he had to go, she was like, oh, you know, maybe I won't understand her. And it's kind of, if you met him and he was just like the top of the Vulcan Science Academy and you were like, oh my god, this guy's going to be a great Vulcan one day, and then you got married and then he came home one day and, having never mentioned it before, was like, by the way, I'm off to join Starfleet, then I can understand you being like, what is this? I'm not understanding. But when you meet someone, you're dating them, you ask them to marry you, and you know that that is something that is important to them, you either say like, look, I do want to ask you to marry me, but I need to check that you're planning on stopping this nonsense and just settling down on Vulcan, right? You know, I feel like you know what you're getting if you, it's the same way if you, in our world, if you start dating somebody and they have a crazy demanding job with weird hours, then if you start dating them and that is their life, you kind of have to just put up with it. Like, you can maybe be like, oh, in the long term, if it's something you can't deal with, you'd be like, oh, in a few years, are you going to stop? But you don't have the right to act like, I'm not understanding about this. Whereas if you date someone and they have a 9-to-5 job and then out of the blue, they're like, by the way, I'm now going to go and do like crazy hours and never be home. You know, it's different. So I don't see that ending well for Spock. But I'm also glad that, you know, he has someone currently. Winona Earp, I'm pretty sure that was her. Very exciting to see. This was just a very, very good episode, and I have no idea where this show is going to go. If it's going to do the kind of episode of a week thing where like they go to another strange new world, that's kind of what it feels like at the moment, or whether it will have the long form plot like Discovery had. But either way, I'm very excited and very invested already. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show, and thank you for watching.